I was looking for a pizza confirmation text on Derek's phone. Quick, innocent. He was in the break room, busy with the patient charts, and I just wanted to make sure the order was right. Instead, I found a message I wasn't supposed to see. Nurse Mia, the supply closet was hot, but I want you in your matrimonial bed tonight. My stomach dropped. I stared at the screen, my hands trembling. Heat and cold at the same time. I read it again. No, this isn't real. I turned around. Derek was walking back with a cup of coffee. Everything okay? He asked, smiling. I couldn't speak. I held the phone out like it might explode if he touched it. He frowned. What's that? I pointed. This. What does this mean? He laughed nervously. It's just a joke. Mia's joking. A joke. I repeated, disbelief cutting through me. On your phone? With my name all over it. He leaned closer, trying to snatch the phone from me. Clara, you're overreacting. No, I said, stepping back. I'm reacting to the truth. I can't believe you would. I didn't, he started. You didn't what? I shouted. You didn't cheat? Or you didn't think I'd find out? He raised his hands. Clara, calm down. Calm down. My voice shook. I trusted you. We promised each other everything. Nurse Mia's name flashed on the screen again in my mind. I wanted to throw the phone, smash something, anything. Derek tried to reach me, but I stepped back, my hand catching the edge of the counter. You're pathetic, I whispered. All this time, and I was blind. He looked hurt, confused. Clara, wait, you don't understand. No. I cut him off. I understand perfectly. I stormed out of the break room, heart hammering in my chest, head spinning. He followed me. Clara, please. I said no. I yelled, slamming the door to the stairwell. I never want to see you like this again. My chest hurt, my vision blurred, but I pushed forward, desperate to get away from him. I didn't notice the first step. Or the second. My foot slipped. I grabbed the railing too late. The world tipped. And then, darkness swallowed me whole. I hit the stairs wrong. The railing scraped against my fingers as I tried to grab it. My foot caught on the edge of a step. The world spun, sharp and fast. Clara. Derek shouted behind me. I wanted to call out, wanted him to stop, but my voice didn't work. I couldn't breathe fast enough. The air was sharp in my lungs, stinging like fire. I tumbled down, each step a blur. The walls of the stairwell stretched and twisted. My heart was in my throat. Then silence. I woke to darkness at first, a soft, muffled sound echoing somewhere far away. My head hurt. My chest burned. I tried to move, nothing. Panic clawed at me. Clara? A voice, familiar, distant, soft. I blinked, my eyes adjusting to the dim light. The locker room. The hospital locker room. My uniform was still on, my ID clipped to my pocket. The clock on the wall glared back at me. 3 hours before I saw the message. I sat up, so fast my head spun. I grabbed my face. It's a chance. A second chance. My mind raced. Derek. The message. The betrayal. I could stop it before it ever destroyed me. I leapt out of the locker, heart pounding, hands shaking, and grabbed my bag. Everything I had done in those past hours, the confrontation, the shock, the fall, hadn't happened yet. I could rewrite it. I peeked out. The hallway was quiet. No Derek. No Nurse Mia. Just the hum of the fluorescent lights and the distant beeping of monitors. I made my way to the break room, careful not to bump into anyone. The phone was on the counter, exactly where I'd left it unread. My hands hovered over it. Should I check? Should I wait? No. I had to know. I tapped the screen. The message from Nurse Mia appeared again. The supply closet was hot, but I want you in your matrimonial bed tonight. I closed the phone immediately. My jaw ached from clenching it. I could feel the fire in my chest, the anger, the betrayal. But this time, I wouldn't confront him blindly. Not like last time. I needed a plan. I could use my advantage, knowledge. I knew what he would say, how he would react. I could protect myself. I could stop him. I walked to the stairs, the same ones I had fallen down before. My fingers brushed the railing. My stomach twisted. Never again. I needed allies. People who could help me expose him safely. People who would make sure I wasn't alone in this. My thoughts went immediately to Dr. Vance, the chief of surgery, my mentor.
Steady. Wise.
Someone I trusted completely. I grabbed my phone again and dialed his number. Vance, I said as soon as he picked up. I need your help. There was a pause. Clara? What's happened? I swallowed the lump in my throat. It's Derek. He's betraying me. I saw it, but I almost made a mistake. I need to catch them before it's too late.
Calm down.
Tell me everything. I told him quickly, skipping nothing. The texts. The lies. The plan he might try to execute if I confronted him. Meet me after your shift, he said firmly. We'll handle this together. You're not alone. I hung up, breathing in deep, steadying myself. This time, I would move carefully. This time, I would survive. This time, I would win. The locker room clock ticked, the same hands frozen on 3 hours before my discovery. And I knew, in my gut, that nothing, no betrayal, no lies, would catch me off guard again. I walked out of the locker room, head high, fists clenched, ready to rewrite the future. I entered the break room before Derek arrived, heart hammering. The phone was on the counter, waiting. I picked it up and locked the screen. No notifications. No texts. Nothing.
My hands were steady this time.
No trembling. No panic. I moved quickly. I had 3 hours before I would have seen the text in real time. 3 hours to act. To catch him before he thought he had free rein. I grabbed a pen and a sticky note. Supply closet surveillance? I whispered to myself.
Yes.
The hospital had cameras everywhere. I knew the angles. I could catch him without putting myself in the line of fire. The door opened behind me. Derek stepped in, coffee in hand. Morning, he said casually. I didn't answer. I stayed calm. I slid the phone into my pocket and stepped aside, letting him think I was still distracted. Everything okay? He asked, noticing nothing. Fine, I said. He smiled, oblivious. I ordered pizza for lunch. I nodded, pretending interest, already moving toward the supply closet. Derek left the room, still talking to the nurse.
Perfect.
Timing was everything. I slipped into the hall, pressed my phone against my chest, and made my way to the supply closet. The camera was in the corner, small, discreet. I crouched beside the door, ready to capture every second. I waited, heart steady, breath controlled. A few minutes later, Derek entered with Nurse Mia. She laughed softly. They moved too close. I raised the phone, hitting record. Every word, every gesture, documented. I texted Dr. Vance. I have him. Supply closet. Recording now. Minutes ticked by.
Derek laughed.
Mia whispered. My stomach churned, but my hands were steady. I stayed hidden. I didn't move. Then, the door opened behind me. Clara? I froze. Dr. Vance stepped into the hall. I had to make sure you were safe, he said, eyes sharp. I'm fine, I whispered. But I need him exposed. He nodded. We'll do this cleanly. No mistakes. I handed him the phone.
Take it.
Make sure it's backed up. We can't risk losing this. He pressed a button, copying the file. Good. Now step back. Let him finish, then we intervene. I leaned against the wall, trying not to shake. Derek's laugh echoed down the hallway. Nurse Mia's voice followed. It was real.
Clear.
Undeniable. After a few tense minutes, Derek left the closet unaware. I moved forward, phone still recording, keeping a safe distance. Dr. Vance took my arm. You're okay? I nodded. I'm fine. I just can't believe it came to this. He guided me to the stairwell. It's done. We have what we need. Now we can act. I felt a strange relief. Not satisfaction yet. Just control. I was no longer at the mercy of his lies. We walked together to the records room. I turned and whispered, next step, divorce. And make sure he gets nothing. Dr. Vance didn't flinch.
We'll do it right. Clean.
Legal. No loopholes. I pulled out a folder, ready to take notes. I want everything documented. Every lie, every betrayal. We're not just exposing him. We're ending him completely. He nodded. I'll guide you. You're not alone in this. I took a deep breath, steadying myself.
Good.
Because I won't stop. And in that moment I realized it. This wasn't just about Derek anymore. This was about taking back my life. Every second counted. Every move had to be perfect. I wasn't scared anymore. I was focused. We turned back to the records room, and I began typing. My plan, step by step. By the time Derek returned, he wouldn't know what hit him. Dr. Vance closed the office door behind us.
Sit, he said.
I didn't. I paced.
We have the recording, I said.
Now we need to make sure he can't deny it. Vance opened his laptop. First rule, never rely on one file. I've saved it on 3 encrypted drives.
Good, I said.
Because he's smarter than he looks. He thinks you're still in the dark, Vance replied. That's our advantage. My phone buzzed. Derek, where are you?
We need to talk about tonight.
I showed Vance the screen. He's already trying to control the story, I said. Reply neutral, Vance said. Give him nothing. I typed.
Busy.
Later. Vance nodded.
Now.
I want you nowhere near him today unless I'm present.
I can handle him, I said.
You don't have to, he answered. You've handled enough. We moved into the small conference room near his office. He pulled out a legal pad. List everything, he said. Shared assets. Accounts. Property. I started talking fast.
House.
Joint savings. My retirement account. His car is under my name. Vance stopped writing. His car is under your name? Yes. That's important, he said. I felt a spark of satisfaction. Good. Another text from Derek. Did I do something wrong? You're acting weird. I laughed quietly. Now he's confused. Don't engage, Vance said. Let him spiral. An hour later, the chief administrator joined us. Vance had already sent her the evidence. She folded her hands. This is serious. It's over, I said. She looked at me. Are you safe? Yes, I said without hesitation. Then we proceed, she said. We set the timeline. Internal report. Formal notice. Derek loses privileges before the end of the day. Vance leaned closer to me. You're doing this with a steady voice, he said. Are you holding up? I shook my head.
No.
But I'm not breaking.
My phone rang.
Derek calling. Vance raised an eyebrow. Put it on speaker. I pressed accept. Clara, Derek said, too cheerful. Where did you disappear to? I'm busy, I said. With who? He asked. With people who don't lie to me, I replied. Silence. Then his tone shifted. You're imagining things again. I'm recording this call, I said. Another pause. You're scaring me. Good, I said. I hung up before he could answer. Vance placed a hand on my shoulder. I stiffened, then didn't pull away. You're not alone in this, he said softly. For a moment my chest tightened. The pressure I'd been holding all day cracked. I trusted him, I said. Vance didn't say anything. He just stayed there until my breathing slowed. Then he straightened. Time. 2 administrators walked past the glass wall toward Derek's department. I watched them go. That's it, I asked. That's it, Vance said. My phone buzzed again. Derek, they just took my badge. What did you do? I typed one line. I told the truth. Then I blocked him. I didn't cry. Not yet. But I knew I would. The hospital was quieter than usual when I arrived. I moved fast, slipping through the hallways, keeping my phone hidden in my palm. Every step was calculated. Every breath steady. Derek didn't know I had already set the trap. Dr. Vance met me near the administration office. His expression was sharp. You ready? I nodded. Let's finish this. He handed me a folder with duplicates of the recordings. We'll play this in the boardroom. Full disclosure. He won't have a chance to lie. I swallowed. I want him to see it first. Vance raised an eyebrow. Are you sure? Positive, I said. He needs to realize this isn't about drama. It's about consequences. We walked to Derek's office. He was leaning back in his chair, looking smug. The kind of smug that made me want to shake him. Clara, he said. You're late. Not late, I said, keeping my voice even. Right on time. His smirk faltered slightly. What's that supposed to mean? I opened a folder on his desk. It means you need to explain yourself. In front of witnesses. Derek laughed nervously. I don't. I didn't let him finish. I hit play on the first recording. Mia's voice was clear, teasing. Derek's was unmistakable. My chest tightened, but I didn't flinch. What is this? He demanded. I asked myself the same question. I said, letting my gaze sweep the room. 2 administrators and Dr. Vance were standing behind me. Turns out, you've been lying. He stood, hands trembling. I can explain. Explain? I repeated. Explain sending texts behind my back? Think I wouldn't see them? He opened his mouth, closed it, then looked at the witnesses. Panic crept in. Vance spoke first. We have copies, backed up and verified. Any denial will be immediately disproven. Derek's eyes darted to me. Clara, please. It's not what it looks like. It's exactly what it looks like, I said. And you're going to face the consequences. He stepped toward me. I stayed still. My hands didn't shake. My voice didn't waver. Stay back, I said. He froze. I opened another folder. More recordings, screenshots, timestamps. Every lie, every attempt to manipulate, documented. You set me up, he accused. No, I said. You set yourself up. The administrators exchanged looks. Derek's shoulders slumped. He realized it. Fully. Vance placed a hand on my shoulder again. Clara, it's done. He can't undo this. I nodded, taking in a deep breath. Relief rushed over me, but it wasn't the relief of victory. It was the relief of control regained. Derek sank back into his chair. You're destroying me. I'm saving myself, I said. He looked at me, really looked, for the first time in years. There was fear there.
Shame.
And for a moment, I didn't feel pity. I felt power. You'll have nothing left, he whispered. I smiled faintly. I'll have everything I need. And I won't look back. Vance guided me out of the office.
You did well, he said.
Now, we clean up the paperwork and you move forward.
I didn't respond.
I just walked. The hallways didn't feel intimidating anymore. They felt like mine. Every step echoed a decision I had made, a boundary I had set, a betrayal I refused to endure. By the time we returned to the administration office, Derek had been removed from all access. His attempts to interfere were neutralized. Every privilege stripped. Every account locked. I exhaled, letting the tension leave my shoulders. Vance didn't say anything. He just stood there, steady. I realized then how much I had leaned on him, how much I had needed someone to watch my back. I should cry, I whispered. He shook his head. Not yet. Not for him. Cry later, when it's safe. I nodded. For now, I had reclaimed everything Derek had tried to take. My dignity, my life, my control. And I had done it without breaking. I walked out of the administration office, head high, heart steady, and ready for the next step. I walked into the attorney's office without knocking. My hands were steady, my chest tight with determination, but my voice didn't falter. Clara, the lawyer said, looking up. I wasn't expecting you today. I'm done waiting, I said. Derek needs to understand that this ends now. She nodded and gestured to the chair. I didn't sit. I preferred standing. Standing felt like power. Do you have all the evidence? She asked. I dropped the folder on her desk. Every recording. Every screenshot. Every text. I didn't leave a single thing to chance. She skimmed quickly. This is thorough. Enough to ensure a clean win. He won't contest this successfully. I didn't need reassurance. I had lived through his lies. I knew exactly what he had done. Good, I said. I want him served today. Her eyes widened. Immediately?
Yes.
I'm done playing nice. We called the process server. I gave explicit instructions. No delays. No warnings. No phone calls. Derek had underestimated me for years.
He wouldn't see this coming.
While we waited, I went over the assets list with the lawyer. House, car, bank accounts, insurance. Every joint account, every shared investment. I wanted him stripped clean. Not out of revenge, but out of justice. Out of self-preservation. Do you want any restraining orders? She asked. I paused. My mind raced.
Yes.
And I want him supervised around shared spaces. I won't let him intimidate me ever again. She nodded, writing it down. Noted. This will also prevent him from accessing the hospital or the administration offices without clearance. I felt a spark of relief. Finally, I would be untouchable. The process server arrived. I handed over Derek's work schedule and home address. No mistakes, I said firmly. He gets this today or I escalate to court enforcement. Derek arrived at the hospital mid-morning, walking through the hallway with a casual smile. I saw him coming. I didn't flinch. I didn't look away. Clara, he said, as if nothing had happened. We need to talk. I held up my hand.
No.
You have 3 minutes before legal action begins. Not a second more. He frowned. You're serious? Dead serious, I said. I have everything. Every lie. Every betrayal. Every text you ever thought I wouldn't see. Your control ends now. His face went pale. You can't do this.
We can fix this.
I can. You already fixed nothing. I cut him off. You destroyed trust. You destroyed everything you touched. I handed the process server the folder with the official divorce filing. Derek snatched it, scanning quickly. His eyes widened, panic finally breaking through the arrogance. This can't be legal, he stammered. It is, I said. And it's unstoppable. Your accounts, your access, everything gone. You have no privileges here or anywhere I care about. He looked around, helpless. For the first time in years, Derek had no power. No smirk. No casual charm. Just the truth staring him down, reflected in my eyes. You can't do this, he repeated, voice shaking. I already have, I said. The process server left. Derek stood frozen, staring at me, like he'd lost something he never realized he had. I turned to the lawyer. What's next? She smiled faintly. We finalize the paperwork, schedule hearings, and ensure all protective orders are enforced. After that, he has nothing. I exhaled, feeling a weight lift from my shoulders. Not anger, not relief, just control. I knew it wouldn't be easy. He would fight. He would try. But I had the proof. I had Dr. Vance backing me. I had the law behind me. And most importantly, I had myself. Good, I said. Because I won't stop until this is over. I won't let him take another second of my life. The lawyer nodded. Then let's finish this. I looked out the window at the city below. The lights of the hospital glinted in the morning sun. For the first time in years, I felt untouchable. Derek's betrayal had tried to break me. It had failed. And I was just getting started. The boardroom was quiet when I entered. Derek was there, leaning back in his chair like he still owned the world, smug and unaware. I didn't flinch. I didn't hesitate. Dr. Vance stood beside me, calm and steady, his presence like armor. Every step I took felt intentional. Every movement said I wasn't afraid. Clara, Derek said, a false smile on his lips. What's this? Another misunderstanding? I dropped the folder with the evidence onto the table. The recordings, the texts, the screenshots, all of it. The truth, unfiltered and undeniable. Vance stepped forward. We have verified everything. This is not a misunderstanding, Derek. His face paled. You can't prove. I cut him off. I don't have to. You already did, by being yourself. He stood abruptly. This is ridiculous. Not ridiculous, I said. Reality. Your reality. Vance's hand brushed against mine as he reached for the playback button. My stomach skipped. A tiny spark of warmth ran through me. His presence was grounding, but closer than I expected. "Clara," Derek said, turning toward me, voice shaking. "You're insane. This will ruin everything, us." I laughed softly, cold but confident. "Ruin us? You ruined us years ago. I'm just cleaning the mess." The recordings played. Mia's voice, Derek's admissions, timestamps, evidence of every lie. He froze, realizing that every excuse, every charm, every manipulation had been captured. This isn't real," he whispered, his bravado evaporating. "It's very real," I said. "And you're going to face the consequences." Vance stepped slightly closer to me. His shoulder brushed mine, and I didn't move away. Instead, I let a subtle smile slip onto my lips. I said quietly, "it's funny how calm I feel standing here. I thought I'd be trembling." He gave me a small grin, almost teasing, but serious in his eyes. "You're stronger than you think. And if you let me, I'll make sure you stay that way." I met his gaze, a flicker of warmth mixing with the adrenaline. "I think I like that," I whispered. Derek's hands clenched the edge of the table. "You can't do this. You can't take everything from me." I stepped closer to the table, directly in front of him. "Watch me," I said. Vance placed a hand lightly on my lower back, not overbearing, just enough to make me feel safe, supported. I leaned into the gesture slightly, feeling a heartbeat of something more than relief, more than victory. Something familiar, protective, maybe even romantic. The administrators in the room were silent, watching Derek's unraveling. "You've lost access to all accounts, your privileges here, everything tied to our shared life," I said, my voice steady. "And legally, you won't see a cent. I've made sure of that." Derek's face twisted. "You'll regret this." I smiled, cold and assured. "Regret? The only regret is trusting you in the first place." Vance pressed a button on the laptop. The files were saved, duplicated, backed up. "It's permanent," he said. "No loopholes. No surprises." I exhaled, tension leaving me in a rush. Derek was defeated, powerless. I had reclaimed my life. Then Vance looked at me, eyes softening. "You okay?" I met his gaze. The adrenaline was fading, leaving something tender behind. "Better than okay," I said. He stepped closer, closer than professional necessity, but not crossing a line. "Good," he murmured, because standing there alone, facing him, I couldn't have done it without you noticing me. You are incredible. My heart skipped. I smiled, slightly teasing. "Flattery now? Careful, Dr. Vance, you might distract me from finishing him off." He chuckled softly. "Maybe I'm counting on it." I laughed, the tension breaking, the fear gone. Derek's presence no longer mattered. The files, the truth, the law, everything was mine. And standing next to Vance, I realized that maybe, just maybe, some good could come out of all this. I glanced at him, faintly bold. "I think I like having an ally who isn't trying to destroy me." He smirked. "And I like standing beside someone who actually knows how to fight back." Derek sat frozen, powerless, while I stood tall, victorious, and maybe a little intrigued by the man who had always protected me and now might be something more. For the first time, I felt unstoppable, and maybe even alive. The city looked different from the hospital balcony. Cleaner, brighter, like I had cleared the storm from my life. I leaned against the railing, letting the night air hit my face, cold but grounding. Derek was gone from my life, stripped of power, of privilege, of the lies he thought would control me. Dr. Vance appeared at my side, his presence steady, familiar. "You've done it," he said softly. "You've reclaimed everything." I exhaled slowly. Not just everything. My life. My peace. He glanced at me, eyes unreadable for a second, then softened. "And no one can take it from you now." I turned to him. "You stayed. You didn't look away." He shrugged, but there was a small, almost shy smile. "Someone had to. And I wanted to. I've always wanted to, actually." I raised an eyebrow, amused. "Always? even when I was blind to what was happening. Especially then, he admitted. I never gave up on you. A warmth rose in my chest. Relief, yes, but also something new. Something that wasn't just survival. You're supposed to be professional, I teased lightly. He smirked. Maybe some rules are worth bending. I laughed softly, a real laugh this time, letting myself feel free. For months, I had been consumed by betrayal and fear, but standing here, I could finally breathe. My hands unclenched, my shoulders relaxed. Vance nudged me gently toward the balcony edge. You should be proud, he said. Not just for surviving, but for taking control. I am proud, I said, looking out at the city lights. And I finally feel untouchable. He stayed close, just enough to be comforting without overwhelming. You are untouchable, he said. And smart, strong,
Brave.
all of it. I smiled faintly, my heart skipping. Flattery now? Careful. You might distract me from rebuilding the hospital board too. He chuckled low and warm. I think rebuilding you is more important. I caught my breath. He had always been my anchor, my quiet protector, and now, standing beside me, I realized he could be more. Not rushed, not forced, but something worth exploring. The hospital bell chimed somewhere behind us. I turned back, remembering the months of planning, of careful moves, of reclaiming every piece of control Derek tried to take. I had documented, secured, and protected myself. I was free. And the divorce? I asked, glancing at him. Finalized, he said simply. All legal protections in place. You can walk away completely. Safe. And strong. A smile broke across my face. Freedom tasted sweeter than I expected. Not just freedom from him, but freedom for me. To feel, to live, to rebuild. Vance looked at me, eyes softening. So, what's next?
I thought about it.
The board, the hospital, my life, everything I had fought to save. And now, someone who mattered was here, not to take control, but to stand with me. Next, I said, meeting his gaze, we rebuild. And maybe we take a little time for ourselves. He raised an eyebrow, teasing, but his voice was steady. I can handle that. I laughed again, the tension of months melting away. Good. Because I'm not letting anyone else control my life. Not Derek, not anyone. He stepped closer, his hand brushing mine gently. Then let's move forward. Together. I squeezed his hand lightly, heart steady. Together. The night air felt lighter than ever. The city stretched out below, alive and bright, and for the first time in years, I felt truly alive too. No fear. No lies. No betrayal. Just control, power, and someone who had always had my back. And maybe, just maybe, someone I could trust with more than my safety. I smiled, finally letting myself hope. The future wasn't just mine to survive anymore. It was mine to live. And for the first time, I was ready.